Welcome to the podcast of Just That Things. I am your host, Anant Arora, and with us today is someone who is fighting a battle since she was young. She has seen ups and downs in her professional career, in her personal life, and we will hear her story today from Mukta. Hello, Mukta. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
How is life?
Life is good.
Life is good?
Yeah.
What's good about life right now?
I think everything is good. Uh, I have a lovely family, beautiful daughter. Of course, I work, and work is good. I've got lovely set of friends like you, Kawagipli. Life is good.
So let's start from beginning. When you were young, you were born and brought up in Bharatpur, right? How was the family like? How was your childhood like in Bharatpur? Because Bharatpur is a small city of
Yeah.
Rajasthan. So how was that life
I
for you?
think, of course, I've been brought up in a joint family which had more than like 20 people under the same roof. And I think it has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Of course, you see the goods and bads and uglies when you're in a joint family, but I think the goods will always sort of overrule the bads and uglies. So yeah, I think it was fantastic, and thankfully, uh, my dad and mom both were very forward looking. So uh, we were really not like, though we were in a small town and all, I think we were raised very, in a modern way, and we were never treated like girls or not given the equals or, whether it is education or the freedom or anything. So whatever we wanted, and this is how we've always been, so I think this is more to do with the parents than the town or the society. Yeah. So we've always been very independent. We were raised to be independent at a very early age, and I think my dad never really thought that she's a girl, so she should not go out or not do this and there were people around who would tell my dad that you should not give certain kind of education to your daughters, or you should think about their marriages more than their education. But he would just listen and shrug it off, and
Yeah.
he wouldn't really honestly get into a discussion or argument with anybody, but he'll just listen, smile, and go about his way.
Right. How many siblings you have?
I've got 3 siblings, so 4 of us.
Four of
So,
four of you.
yeah.
Yeah. So when your father passed away, what age were you in?
I was 20.
20.
Yeah.
Okay.
My elder sister is a year and 4 months older to me, and my younger siblings are very young. They were barely in class 8, 9. Yeah.
Too young to even understand.
Yeah, what has happened.
Right. So how was the family like when you lost your father? How was you? How was your elder sister? How was your younger siblings?
So obviously we all were lost, but we saw it coming because he wasn't keeping well for a while. So uh, though we knew, but you never prepared.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was bad. It was really bad, and I think especially for my younger siblings, because practically they didn't understand what's happening. But I think my sister and I, we were also aware what is happening, and now we'll have to, while on the other side, my the elders in the family were thinking differently of, probably since my sister and I were 20, 21, they probably thought and suggested my mom to get us married and things like that. Mummy quite held her ground, and she said, no, we see what we have to do. And then, we started working. I was studying fashion, and I had finished it by then. And my sister was doing her CA, but she couldn't complete because of these things. And we decided to start working and all of that. So yeah, in the beginning, there were a lot of tests. Of course, there was resistance from the elders in the family. But since my mom had chosen what she wanted, we could do what we thought should be right for us. We moved from Bharatpur to Jaipur, then to Delhi, and we started our own lives, and we started earning, and we started taking care of our family. Mom has always been the ground beneath our feet, of course. So, it is all because of her that we could, practically she has been a single parent
Yeah.
for most part of our lives.
Right.
I was 20, now I'm going to be 43. And she's still the parent who we look up to and we go to whenever there's anything. And she's also raised our children, apparently. So, yeah. But definitely life has been kind. We have worked hard, but, I think which everybody does, but life has been kind, and we have, found our ways and, means to work around it. And we all are in a good place.
So do you and your elder sister, do you guys talk about your life of Bharatpur that time? Do you guys talk about?
Yeah, I mean, we do talk about, and though we don't give much heed to what life was back then and what all we did and what all have we accomplished or we have not been able to accomplish because of certain situations. Because if Papa hadn't left us so early, obviously life would have been very different. But I think we look at mostly in present. We live in present than living in the past. Though there is no way that anybody can fill in for what we have lost.
True.
We try and be each other's support. And I think that's also one reason that all of us siblings have been very, very close since the beginning. We are a very, very close-knit family, which you, of course, are aware of. I think losing Papa at a very early age also brought us together in a different way. Obviously, siblings are close.
Emotionally.
I mean, but you know that now you just have each other. Right? So it becomes, and you're always worried because now it is your responsibilities. My younger sister and brother, you'd know how much they are always worried about me now that life took a different turn and I became a single parent. So they fill in the shoe for whether elder siblings or whatever you want to fall. But they are always worried about me, my daughter, and always are there in all capacities.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you got married at what age?
I think I was 26.
Too early, but that time I think it was.
Yeah, that was normal.
It was an arranged marriage, right?
It was a very confused marriage. It was meant to.
That I think got confused. The confused part came later, but
it was, I think, meant to happen. Happened. So I always say that, like anybody asks me what happened, why did you marry him? I just have like one answer. Vinash Kale Viprita Buddhi. Krishna ji ne bol diya tha, in Gita. So I go by that it was meant to be. Happened, and I have no regrets. I mean, it happened.
To lot I have regrets.
I mean, I have a beautiful daughter, which is the outcome of my marriage.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy. Whatever had to happen, happened. It didn't work out.
But what happened?
Irresponsibility. When somebody is not prepared to be the man.
When you say the man, what do you mean?
When
how do you define
when you start, I mean, that's not only a man. I could have been also not the woman rep, but I did my best. So I'm not putting the onus on one person. I'm just saying that when you are coming together with somebody to start a family or to get into a
commitment relationship,
then you have to be, then you have to put in effort.
Right.
You can't be like, you can't be a bachelor. You can't be somebody who's just living for themselves, right? Especially with women, that there are so many things that are expected out of. The man least has to do at least be there for the wife, right? Not for my family, not for my parents, not for my siblings, but at least for me, right?
Yeah.
That was missing.
Okay.
He was completely irresponsible towards me. And then that was, I think, since we are so deep conditioned, that, somebody has to do. Girls have to do, women have to do. So obviously you, and I've been raised in a joint family. So, you see all of that. So it's so deeply conditioned that you're okay with everything and you put efforts and you try and make it work, which I did for a very long time. But then when my daughter was born, and then I saw the same patterns, same style of living the life that he wanted. And I think we didn't understand back then what is postpartum and all
Yeah.
that shit. But I think I was going through the postpartum. I was probably going through the depression. Internet was there, but it didn't exist the way it exists
Yes.
today. So we didn't know any better. We just knew that, this is a part and parcel. But when when I look back, that's when I realized. But honestly, this is not how we were really raised. But you see the society and you see that, and you think that if you do not, if it doesn't work out, the blame is going to be on you.
Yes.
So you just feel you want to somehow, one, of course, make your life and marriage work, give your child both the parents. So you try. But I realized that, I was so unhappy in that marriage and I was going through so much and there was really nobody that I could even talk to. My in-laws was a different chapter, but I don't blame them because I'm not their responsibility.
Yeah. So, but after marriage, somehow it's the in-laws' responsibility too to take care of the girl जिसको वो घर पे लेके के आए हैं.
And then what happens is that, if you're getting support from your in-laws is a plus. But the first primary responsibility is on your partner.
Yeah.
So if he fails, then I'm not going to sit in that house because,
In-laws support कर रहे हैं.
कर रहे. वो नहीं, like I said, that's a different chapter and I don't think that's relevant. But, उनको छोड़ देते हैं तो भी जब प्राइमरी फैक्टर ही आपका काम नहीं कर रहा है तो फिर आप किस चीज के लिए करोगे. So I realized that I was not happy. And when I am not happy in something, then there is no way that I can raise a happy child.
Yeah.
If you want to keep your surroundings happy, you have to be happy. If you want people around you happy, you have to be happy. And that was failing completely. And of course, my husband was living in his own world. So the other parent that I was to my daughter, she's also not happy. Now, I did not want her to raise in an environment wherein she is not valued. She's not taken care of. She's not happy. She's not looking at parents as parents because she's always like, we are not the ideal parents, right? Because we hardly talk. There are fights when we talk. There's no happiness around her. Then what are we doing?
Yeah.
And I think my mom could sense it. So obviously I would talk to my mom every day, right? You all do, right? So I think my mom did tell me once that if you're not happy, you come back. We will see what we have to do. You start working again. I was not working when I was when Shrim was young. So you start working, and I will look after Shrim, and you go out and start working again, build your career again, and we'll see. But every day you being unhappy is not going to help you or Shrim in any way.
Right.
So yeah.
So, I'm sure when you were going through all this, right? Apart from your mother, was there someone else whom you used to talk to, your friends? Maybe your elder sister?
I think my younger sister.
Okay.
And I had lost contact with my friends completely because I did not have time and energy to invest anywhere. I was a mother who was taking care of four elders in the house, taking care of yourself, taking care of your child. You're not mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, able to do anything. Practically, you're not capable of anything, right? Because I was not working, so I did not have my own finances. So you're dependent. And I've been at a very early age. I think my dad had made all of us very, very independent. So we did not have the habit of asking
for it, yeah.
So that was a problem. Then obviously there is nobody, like even for my daughter's doctor visit, I will have to go by myself.
Okay.
My husband would be absent. And for the stupidest reasons, like you're sitting at home just watching something on internet, but you can't get up your ass and, come to the doctor. Then why do you exist?
Yeah.
What do you want to do here? If there is no contribution from you practically, then why am I carrying the baggage of you emotionally?
Yeah.
And also physically being around. So,
Except financially, everything.
Yeah. Then there's no point. I mean, either you contribute,
Yeah.
You contribute in any way,
Yeah.
whether you want to contribute practically in all the ways. But if you're lacking in one place, at least you try and fulfill in the other.
Yeah.
But there was like zero contribution.
So, normally what we say is that most of the time, after marriage, what happens is that, see, why I'm discussing on this topic is because in today's scenario, if you see, there are a lot of divorces happening, separations happening, right? And it's directly impact the child as well, right? And if someone says that it does not, I don't believe it, because it will. Even if you're staying together, if you're not happy, even then it shows on the child, because you fight and they see that, right? And somehow their behavior also gets changed. So when he was not around with your daughter, what exactly he used to do? What was is in his mind? Mother, have you asked him that
I've
why?
asked hundreds and thousands of times, Anand, before I left and before I decided to take the. Or I didn't in one day I didn't decide, like
Obviously,
I came back
yeah.
and I thought that things will improve and I will go back one day, but things did not improve. So he's probably living in some
Dream world.
dream world which I have no relation with. For example, he will tell me that my daughter will not go to any of these schools.
Any of these
because
schools mean which-
any school,
Acha,
any
why?
school in our country, because this entire education system is incorrect.
Okay,
I will homeschool my child.
okay.
I said, dude, you do not have 2 minutes to sit down with her or play with her. How are you going to homeschool? And secondly, I can't let you homeschool. Because tomorrow she's going to get inside this world only, and she has to compete with the people who are sound in a certain way, wherein she may fail. So you may have all the, and I would not say that I completely disagree. Of course, the system is not probably the perfect, but I can't let you not send her to school. Like, she has to go to a school, like a regular school. So, I'm sorry, but I think I digressed from your question.
No.
Okay. So there was really nothing that he was ready to contribute to, and the answers that I would usually get would not make any sense to me.
Okay.
So there was a huge disconnect. And practically, I mean, in the past 13 years that I've been with Shrim here, he hasn't really tried to contact her, made any contact apart from the.
Not even once or twice?
No, obviously, birthday pe Dadi will call, not him, and then he will come on the phone and wish.
So what is he doing these days? Any idea?
No, I really have, we have been we only talk in the court. We do not even talk in the court. Like, he's present, I am present, and that's about it. We don't really talk. And he's been adamant in not giving the divorce, which is again irrelevant here. But I'm just saying that, these are the only times when we talk. And of course, during COVID, when I had to give Shrim a phone, I gave her number to her Dada Dadi and her father, that if you want to talk to her, you're most welcome.
Yeah.
This is a number. Because just because our relationship did not work doesn't mean that, she should be deprived of her relationship. But I don't think there's any effort
From his side.
So this is practically a very different story that you'll get in your just that things, especially in terms of single parenting, because the fathers would always like to be present in any way.
Yeah.
Here, he is completely absent by his own choice. And that basically means that you're not ready to take again any kind of responsibility, even if it is emotional responsibility. Because if you connect with your child on daily basis, you're investing.
Right.
And that
Right.
investment is missing.
Right. So when you decided to came back to Delhi, I'm sure it was very hard on you, very hard on your family, everyone. What was Mukta thinking? How was Mukta at that point in time, emotionally?
I think I was completely broken, because nobody wants to step out of
Yeah.
the marriage, right? And I did not know the way forward.
Yeah.
Like, how will I raise this child? And I did not even have my dad, right? That if you have a father in the family, it's easier on you.
Right.
But again, like, my mom has been very strong, and she said that we'll work it out, you start working. She's always been very supportive, very physically, emotionally there for us. So I started working. My siblings were very, very strongly there for me and my daughter. It took me a little time to pick a job, start working slowly and gradually, and then I started working in a capacity wherein I was getting paid well. I was traveling a lot. So when I was traveling, I was a very chipku mom, because the 2 years that I'd spent with my daughter in my matrimonial house.
Instead of Chipko, I think it's more to do with you wanted her to be secured.
Yeah, I
Safe,
mean, I think now that I reflect upon it, she was a chipko because there was only one person in the entire household to look after her. So she only knew that I can go to her. And now when I reflect, I realize that she was also only there for me. She was the only person who was there for me. So it was not only her being dependent on me, I was so dependent on her in terms of my emotions because there was literally nobody. I was practically in the house wherein there were 5 people and Shrimp. It was just her who would care for me, and while the child doesn't know that they're caring for you, they are in a lot of ways, because I would be happy because I had her. I could talk to her, I could play with her, I could look after her. And it was also at the same time very exhausting because obviously you're 9 months of pregnancy, you're postpartum, your delivery, you've gone through physically, emotionally, mentally a lot.
And he wasn't there, your partner was.
Nobody was there, right?
Yeah.
So you're fighting the battle on your own. So I also emotionally very, very dependent on Shrimp, which I realize now that it was only her who probably kept me sane. Otherwise, I might have completely lost it in that process. But yeah, when I came back, she was exactly 2-year-old. I started working, looking after her. When I started traveling, then my younger sister would look after her like her mother, while my mom would look after everything else in the family. And of course, Shrimp, waking her up in the morning, bathing her, all of that my younger sister would do.
Yeah.
She's the practically, I mean, like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. In my case, that's the fact. Like my whole family has raised my daughter. It's just not.
And another thing, your younger sibling is actually a godmother.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because I've also seen her.
Yeah,
So I've seen her. So yeah.
Yeah, so everybody has contributed so much. So I never call myself a single parent, quite honestly, because there is nothing that I have done single-handedly. Of course, you're responsible for everything, but when you have so much of support, it becomes easier, a lot easier.
Yeah.
When I see other women around who are not supported by their own families, I really thank my stars. Like I thank my stars every day, to be honest, but those are the special days when you say that, oh God, I have such a beautiful family that I don't have to worry about anything. Like not only emotionally, physically, but also I know that if I am not there, I know that Shrimp will be taken care well.
Yeah.
So it has been, tough, but it has also been very, very, easy in the way because my whole family has always been very, very supportive.
Right. Have you moved on in life?
Moved
Personally,
on, as in?
have you moved on? As in from a phase to this difficult phase. Now, once you have a bad experience with someone, then their normal human being nature is that it's very difficult for someone to trust, right? Or to get into that same relationship sort of thing, that where you can again invest your time, energy, everything, right? So have you moved on from that, or
Feeling.
yeah, or there's still some baggage?
I don't think that I have that kind of baggage, but I think I was so invested in my daughter, I did not need anybody. So I never felt the need. So that trust or all of that, yes, in the beginning when I had come back, my mom she did mention it a few times that you should get married again. And I was like, no, like, why would I want to get married? and probably have another child with another man, and then the same thing happens, and then instead of one, I'm raising 2 kids. No, not happening. And I was more scared when Shrim was younger. I was very scared to get into, like, in my mom's world, to get married again, because I did not want my daughter to get into a new family. Now we left one family, right? We started, now this is her family. This is where she has spent most of her time. I don't now want her to be just sent into another home with another set of people.
Yeah.
I mean, in the whole process, there's nothing that she did wrong, right?
Yeah.
So why should she be
So she should suffer.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want her to suffer.
Yeah.
And like jokingly, I will tell my mom that, one Shrim is, she's like,
18 and
yeah, and she's like, she can take care of herself. Tab kar lungi shaadi. And she's like, हाँ, tab कौन मिलेगा? Said, bhai, मिट्टी मर के लोग ही मिलेंगे, obviously, because, your parents would always think that you can only get married at a certain age. And, so obviously we don't live in that world. But quite honestly, at this point, I have never felt the need of anybody particularly in my life, because one, my work is very consuming. I have to work hard, I love my work.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm working because I have to. I also like my work. And I do have responsibility of the child, so I don't shrug that off. That's the most important thing. So in all of this, and then, my family is like, it's a big family.
Yeah.
So the only few times, and we do spend a lot of time with each other. So one, there is no time. Second, there is no need. Want is a different thing.
Yeah.
But there is no need. The love, it's a fun, the love is pouring from all sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't really feel the lack of love. Now,
Yeah.
one particular kind of love, only when you have as much time, you probably will feel that. But if this was not my family, will I feel the lack? Yes.
Yeah.
But since I'm blessed with the family that I have, then there is no, you don't feel, there is no void. You don't feel loveless. You don't feel that you don't have a family. You do not have people who love you, who care for you. Everybody is always around. So obviously, I have never felt, I mean, have I moved on? Coming back to your question, I guess yes. I don't think that I'm still in a scared state that, oh no, what happens if the second marriage doesn't work or something like that. Yes. I don't think that I have that fear.
Okay.
But do I really want to get married? I don't know.
It's not about getting married. It's about maybe in a relationship.
Where is the time, Anant?
That I agree.
I mean,
But
practically there is.
now your daughter is she's a teenager, right? And very soon she'll be out of the house. She'll maybe go to some other city, will do a college, grads, then post-grad, then masters, something else. Then when she moves out, then you are all alone, right?
ये नहीं जाएंगे भाई बहन नहीं
ये तो यही रहेंगे, but they also have life because their kids will also grow. The more they grow, they have to invest time, right? More time with them. So I'm not saying that the love will end, right? Or it will decay or whatever. But at a point, there are certain times when you want to be with someone to talk about many other things, right? It's not just about sex. It's also about you share your feelings with someone close to. So have you thought when you are alone, when you think of life, have you thought of these
No,
things?
at times you do feel that,
Yeah.
you should probably, some time, it's just that, there is a flash that's like,
Yeah.
oh, there's nobody. And it's only that moment.
Yeah.
Because then you have so much to look after. Then again, the time becomes the priority.
Yeah.
That, you only have as much time, 24 hours, 7 days, 365 days in a year, and you can only do as much. And there is no free time, quite honestly. If I'll have that when Shrim is gone and all of that, like I told my mom, I'll tell you the same thing that, if that has to happen, will happen. I'm not scared of it. I'm not scared that, what will happen, all of that. If it has to happen, will happen. And I'm not closed for it. Like, it's not like, no. But also not like,
But
Yeah.
not looking for
yeah,
it.
I'm not
Yeah.
like,
मिल गया तो ठीक है वरना कोई हाथ नहीं.
Like, I'm pretty, my peace is more important, quite honestly. I of course cannot have another set of drama in my life. Shrim gives me enough drama. That sort of does well for me for now.
So now you are a teenage mom,
Yeah.
right? How difficult is it to manage a teenager?
That's the real question. That's the real question. Oh God. Yeah, I think both of us in today's state, we only have much time with each other. And it's not just her, it's me also. Because then she will start with her things, rolling her eyes, asking weird questions. Because their world is very, very different from ours. When you try and see, the most important thing is at this point is academics. While I have been absolutely open with my daughter, I don't want to be her friend. I am her mother and I want to be in that place, but I've been very friendly with her. So whatever happens in her life, she comes and tells me. And again, that's my assumption, because what I don't know, right?
Yeah.
So there could be
A number of things.
a number of things which I'm not aware of, but I have been very open with her for the very fact that I want the world out there is not very safe. So I want her to come back to me even if she's committed a crime tomorrow, which I hope she does not. But if she does, she should not get into the wrong hands, rather come to me and tell me that this is what has happened and I want you to help me.
Right.
So that's the kind of relationship I have tried to build, wherein she's not scared of me. She's scared of me when we talk about studies, because that's where,
I think वो सब बच्चों
Yeah.
का
and that's what I don't even want her to get completely on her own. But other than that, I think we can talk about everything. While she wants to talk about whatever she talks about is far off from this planet Earth.
Okay.
So I don't understand. And then, and what I talk to her about, which is very much of this planet Earth, she hates it.
Yes.
Because as per her, it's very clear that, why? Because she has so many whys, why would you do that? So yeah, our worlds are very different in our minds. I have lived my world absolutely being here, while I have also seen the women, which I'm sure that you have seen me, you have seen my sisters, you've seen our whole family. So you know how progressive we are, wherein, and we count our blessings for being raised in such an environment, because practically that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Though it should be as normal as it should be, but
It's not. Yeah.
it's not. So I think while I try and tell her, she, quite honestly, she does not understand the difference between a guy and a girl. So for her, it's still the same. Why? Why do you talk like this? And I would tell her that, we come from 40 years ago, especially in a smaller town of the country, it was not the same. It was only our parents who could, decide to raise their daughters in a certain way and, let us be.
In a different way. Yeah.
And let us be,
Yeah.
not hold us back. So for her, it's very, very, sometimes I feel that, how innocent she is when she was younger. There were stories of an abandoned girl child somewhere near our house. And then she heard some more stories about girl. And she was like,
Well,
why?
and sugar. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, for us, it's a given.
Yeah.
कोई लड़का तो छोड़ के नहीं जाता है. And then I had to tell her that this is how things used to happen. Feticides, infanticides. It's only girls, never a boy. Orphanages mostly have girls.
Mostly have girls. Yeah.
लड़के वो होंगे जिनके दोनों parents actually
नहीं चाहते होंगे, बच्चा नहीं चाहते होंगे, whatever.
they passed away or something like that.
Or they don't want.
Ah,
Or they
yeah,
don't want.
who leaves a child, a son in orphanage, especially in India? Nobody. So it's been very different. Their thinking is very different, right? Whether it is male or female, or why can't you do certain things, and why could the other men? But I think now she started to understand the difference and all of it. But and most in our family there are 4 girls now.
Right.
In the next generation. There's the sabse chota bacha is the boy, right? So I think in as they call us Mahila Ashram or something, like comedy is like Mahila Ashram or something. So yeah, we are very happy about it, very proud of it. So yeah, the relationship is, I think, it'll continue to build.
Yeah.
While the love is there, while she respects me, I respect her, and all of that is there. It's very hard to.
It's very hard. Yeah.
It's very hard to be
A teenage
to
mom.
have a teenager around all the time. All the things that I like, she hates. Whether it is choice of music, movies, how you dress up. I mean, I don't have any problem however you want to dress up, but I'm just saying that I will like.
But when she's going out, you are worried because she's wearing something kind of wear, but you're worried.
I am not worried. I'm never worried. I think I tell her this very openly. Like, if you're comfortable in anything, I have never questioned. And I am the one who chooses her clothes, quite honestly. Matlab, kapde to, she's not even like interested. My daughter's a little different anyway. While her age girls are like
Yeah.
a lot into clothing and all of that, she's not. So I get to choose, but I have never been worried about what you're wearing if I know where you're going. So if you're going to a certain place, you're wearing a certain kind of clothing, it's fine. But like if she's like, I am worried if she tells me that she's going out for a walk at night. She only likes to go at night because then there are
No
like
people, yeah.
So I will tell her to only walk in the front of the society,
So you can
front
see.
side. And she always want to go at the back side of the society. So that's a fight.
Okay.
If you want to go at the back side, then go at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And then she will say, मुझे जाना ही नहीं है. Then I will say, mat jao, but raat ko 10 baje, I will not let you walk at the back side because I don't know who came in this day and stayed there.
Yeah.
And then the similar thing about clothing. What you're wearing is important, where you're going. That's it. But other than that, I think more in terms of her thinking, she is very different. Like I said, like once I was just thinking, like my sister and I, we were talking about something and she looked at me and we were very intensely talking and very like, like giving so much importance to ourselves and our lives and something. And she's like, she said something which I don't really recall, like I can't quote, but exactly what she said, but you are just a very small piece of something on a floating rock in the universe.
Acha. तो क्या मतलब हुआ?
Exactly. So for like 3 minutes, I was just literally thinking like, and she just meant that, इतना बड़ा universe, इतनी सी एक rock है, which is your earth, उस पे आप 8 billion लोगों में से आप,
इतने हुआ.
why are you giving so much of importance to yourselves? And I was like, oh God. Yeah, that's where you get like what conversation can we have? We can't.
Because the reason why I asked you because I have a son 5 years old. You have met him, right? Soon he'll also be a teenager. I think I know in next 5 years he'll be a teenager.
Wait until 5 years. He's 7, 8 पे.
वो अभी तो शुरू हो गया उससे उल्टा जवाब देना है all that he has started. But has she ever lied to you? And has she been caught? What was your reaction that point in time?
Nothing. I said you keep. I mean, I don't really call my reaction, but I think I just like in that moment I let it go because reflex action is the worst action. So, but later I will make her understand. I can only tell her that there is nothing that you need to lie to me about, and it's mostly related to her studies. So right now, for her, this bookish knowledge is waste. For her learnings and quite honestly the things that she talk about, I am mostly like quite surprised that how do you know about it, like I don't even know the answers. Like she's telling me something and I'd be like but how do you know? She knows. She's like, yeah, because I read, so whether it is internet or books or whatever, she does read books as well. So for her, whatever that is there in her course doesn't make any sense, and especially she hates marks. Like one day I asked her, what is one thing that you'd like to remove from the world? Her point blank answer was marks.
Actually, it is true. Actually, it's right.
Yeah, but then I had to also make her understand, Anand,
But why is it
there
important?
has to be a matrix.
A ranking system.
Yeah, there has to be a matrix. I am not saying that, okay, because 100 is good, 90 is bad, 80 is worse. I'm not saying that. But how do you judge yourself? That's also important. So you judge yourself, and if you're happy with that, I'm happy. But are you happy? And even if it is not these books, anything, tomorrow you will go and work anywhere. Of course, if somebody else is doing better than you, I mean, you can't be in a world wherein everybody is same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine a world wherein there's no rich, no poor, no. I mean, that's like, that didn't even exist in the, Rakam Yuga. Yeah. So obviously, Raja will be Raja and
Praja will be Praja, yeah.
So yeah, that difference is there and it will continue to happen. The world cannot be, everybody can't be same. So that these are the things that we mostly argue upon.
Are you worried when she uses the
I am
phone?
Extremely worried.
How do you keep control of that?
There is no control that you can keep, quite honestly. At least I have not been able to keep, and I don't think that any parent that I know of have been able to keep any control.
But how you tell a teenager that, see, the different kind of content is available, right? And the kind of content you watch, you start getting those kind of content, right? So how do you tell them, a teenager, or maybe not even teenager, a young person, ki this is good, this is bad, this is not the age for you, or this is not the way it is shown, right? Because आज की डेट में क्या हो गया है कि reels, shorts, ये सब होते 30 seconds के हैं, but they create an impact in your mind.
What are the sorry, I'm gonna reverse a question to you. What do you think is right and wrong or age appropriate?
Even I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. I don't know it either. So as per me, a lot of things are age inappropriate. For example, you talk about, people used to talk about porn or whatever, right? Now you watch Netflix. How do you control Netflix?
Yeah. How do you control? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's rather, and she's 15, and quite honestly, I'm quite in a war with myself to, talk about all of these things with Shrim. But as a matter of fact, physically, emotionally, mentally, this is the time when you're growing, your hormones are changing, everything. We all have come from that age, right? We did not talk to our parents about it because obviously it was a tough.
Even we did not know.
Yeah. A lot of things we didn't know. But what happens to your body is something that you understand, right? It's not that you don't understand that, but you can't talk to your parent about it. For example, periods for women, right? I had sensitized my daughter way back before she started with her periods. I had told her about all of these things, and she was also like, why do you want to talk about it? Why? I said, because this is going to happen, and this is the most natural thing that happens, right? And tomorrow your hormones will change and you will feel a certain way. That is also normal. I've gone through it. You will feel a certain way. You'll not be able to talk to me about it. I am telling you this will happen, and this is normal. So when we talk about the content on social media, it is all that. Now, there is no way that you can control.
Yeah.
There is no way. The only thing that I feel helps me is to talk about all of that openly.
Okay.
At least she knows, and she will understand that all of this is normal, instead of creating it in a taboo or something that is not to be talked about and then only experienced about. Or go and only talk to her friends about these things, and they will also have that broken information, and put together all that broken information could be, could be a problem. But whatever that I know of and the things that we discuss and talk about, it makes it easier for her to understand that, okay, this is what it is, this is normal. You watch something on Netflix. Now, Netflix is itself the content that is there on Netflix, which is the most watched
OTT platform.
OTT.
Yeah.
I mean, forget about English or content. You look at Bollywood also. You look at Hindi content also. I mean, it's so open. It's weird. I mean, like once we were watching something and a man and a woman on the screen started kissing, and she started looking here and there, and I was like, it's fine, dear. What's the big deal? They're kissing. It's normal, and people kiss each other. It was awkward for me also, and to tell her especially that, this is normal was awkward for me. But then at the end of the day, you got to do it, because then at least it puts it in a normal thing. But I also tell her, when it comes to especially like all of these things, that, I can only tell you, these are the things, this is what happens. You feel a certain way, you do certain things certain way, these are the repercussions, this will happen, this can happen. the choice is yours. Obviously, I'm not gonna monitor you 24/7, and you will do what you want to do. But you have to only understand that it's going to do this to you. Are you prepared for that? These are the only things I personally feel we have to be very, very open to our kids, because while we had so many questions as kids, right? There was nobody to answer. Now our kids are getting their answers through content. It's better to answer them yourself instead of them getting that information from the outside world.
Right.
And if you still look at most of the content, women are still being objectified.
Yes.
So instead of them assuming that it is so important for me to look beautiful because a man has to look at me and feel a certain way and all of that, okay, all of that is true, right? You feel a certain way for somebody and somebody feels a certain way. But you do not have to do something to be likable in any way.
Yeah.
You have to be yourself. You have to be your authentic self. And then you want to look good for yourself. You want to study well for yourself. So those are the things that I feel that, it's important. The only thing that I feel in nutshell is the communication between parent and children. That probably can help. You cannot control social media.
But when you, for example, the age group that I am, और जिस एज ग्रुप में आप हो, जो हमारे फ्रेंड्स होते हैं अभी हमारी उसी एज ग्रुप के फ्रेंड्स रहते हैं, राइट? सो विथ योर डॉटर शी आल्सो हैव फ्रेंड्स ऑफ हर एज ग्रुप. नाउ देयर आर टाइम्स व्हेन यू आर इन दैट एज, you get influenced, right? You can get influenced for content or for anything, any substance, anything, right? For alcohol or anything, or to look cool, because at this age you want to look cool, right? You want that people, like you said, that you want to be likable. You want that people should be around you. How do you talk about that? Because though we in today's generation we want to have an open conversation, but you cannot have everything open. You cannot talk about anything and everything right now. What I feel, reason is कि, for example, हम क्लब जाते हैं, right? In today's scenario, metro city में everyone is living, everyone is a nuclear family. बहुत कम you will see a joint family. Now you have to go out. A couple wants to go out. They have a kid. Now they obviously cannot leave the kid at home, so they will take the kid. Now the kid is watching that. Party का मतलब है alcohol, cigarette, music, right? How do you explain that to a kid, right? And same goes for the teenage, because by the time they reach at that age, they will feel that this is quite normal because my parents are doing it. So this is quite normal. Though our parents used to hide and do it, but now we are doing it openly because we have no other option. So how do you communicate that? How do you explain that?
I think the only thing that I have told her in terms of all of these things, Shrim is not somebody who likes to go to pubs and clubs and all of these things. That's one. So it has been little easy on me. Because like people her age, other people her age would be very happy and excited. Like if I tell Shrim, let's go out, I want to have a nice, let's go out for a drink, let's go out for a dinner. She wouldn't like a place which has loud music.
Acha, okay.
So that's sort of relief for me. कि वो जाएगी नहीं की जगह पे. So she's not very fond of places that are like pubs and clubs and all of these places. But what I tell her, the only thing in terms of your your drinking, smoking, whatever, the only thing that I tell her is that one, and quite honestly, she tells me herself that when my age will be, like when I'll be of legal age, then we'll see. So obviously, anyway, she doesn't like seeing anybody drinking, smoking. That's one thing. She's not, are the sorts that would want to be like, I want to do this, because that happens. Now that everybody is so open, there are two ways to it, right? One could be, I want to do it. One could be,
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, like, what fun do you guys get out of it? So Shrim is on the other side, so it's easier for me. Secondly, I keep telling her that, whenever you're of legal age, of course she understands the legal age. She says that, I have told her that whenever you want to have a drink first, have it with your family. I'm not going to say no to you, because apparently everybody does all
Yeah,
of this.
yeah.
Whenever you want to have it, even of not legal age, unless you feel like your friends are doing it and you want to do it, understand where you stand. That's when I say communication, open communication. That, let the child know that even if at 18 she feels that, oh, I want to try something, she will at least come and tell you.
Yeah.
Then it is up to you whether you can turn the tables from there or not.
Yeah.
And again, another thing, even if you go out and if you have done that, then also you come and
Come and tell me, yeah.
because again, if tomorrow something happens,
Yeah.
which is not right,
At least I am there to protect you.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the most important
Yeah.
thing. And that's when I say that, we have to be very, very open, because the world is not the old world where we
Yeah.
existed and things were like still better. Today, so many crimes, so many things happening outside. Like, you don't know. And one thing that I also tell her, that obviously friendship is the only relationship that you can choose wisely.
Yeah.
It's very important, because these are the people who are going to be, none of us are going to be there
Yeah.
for you because we'll die.
Yeah.
But your friends are going to be with you forever. And friendships happen at every stage
Yeah.
in your life.
Yeah.
Just choose wisely. Because nowadays, like, I've had friends who would stand by me. Like, now you see the stories, some girl was getting drunk with her circle, and then she was raped in a car.
Yeah.
I mean, how do these friends let her go when she was drunk?
Yeah.
It is their responsibility to drop
To drop
her.
her home.
Yeah. So these are very small things, but very important that we keep talking about. That, these are the things that you have to be like, if I get
So she's also aware
yeah
of her surrounding, that what all things could happen, how she can react
yeah
and protect herself.
exactly.
Yeah.
She has to be aware. We have to. That when my only point is, ठीक है, पढ़ाई के लिए तो हम दोनों का देखो हमेशा झगड़ा रहता है.
Yeah, वो रहेगा. ठीक है.
That I think we pretty much talk about everything.
So have you learned any new slangs from her?
To talk about, I get irritated when somebody says HOW ko HW. Like I reply to them right correctly.
अच्छा, okay. मैं भी सोच रहा था ये क्या.
People write
मेरे को अभी भी नहीं पता है बहुत सारे.
So मैं तो like this is also one thing that we fight about, because she will write in her language and I'd be like, though I understand, I will be like, I don't understand, please write properly. And she'd be like, she'll roll her eyes and move pavate. So yeah, I mean, all of that is part and parcel. Yeah.
So is she emotionally strong, or she's still trying to figure out the things that have happened, the things that she has seen? Does she talk about her father?
No, so that's one thing that I felt at a very I think it's something that I mentioned in my blog also, that she has always also been very protective of me. So not always she will talk about it. She's never talked about it, because one thing, the first most important thing, that there is no existence of her father in her life.
Yeah.
Right. So what would she talk about? Then obviously what comes is that when she sees all the parents around. So I think she's now
She's accepted.
yeah. But there was a time when she would feel.
When she was growing up.
Yeah, she would feel. Very short period of time, but she would always say that, my mom does everything for me. Why do I want anybody else? But that statement itself says that she's trying to protect me. That, Mama, you don't worry. I'm okay. And I never wanted her to feel that way.
Yeah.
So I used to probe her a lot to talk about these things, which apparently did not help much. But I think she's grown up, and now she sees the world wherein there are like multiple single parents, and it's not like it's a taboo or anything. So she has always been content of the family she has had, but maybe she has had this question that why doesn't he exist? But I did send her a couple of times to stay with her father. And I think this was last year, when I had sent her to live with her father. She was 11 and a half, something, or 12. So she stayed with Dada, Dadi and Papa for 10 days.
Achha.
I was also in Mumbai, so I will, a couple of times I went and checked upon her and all of that, and we kept talking. And I think she got her answers.
Okay.
I sent her to understand that if you guys should talk and why not? And you deserve their love if they are there to offer. But apparently she also realized कि इनके पास कुछ नहीं है देने के लिए. In terms of love, of course. So she realized and she came back, and I think she's become more strong since then, because now she has probably the answers that why.
Yeah.
Why is he not there? Because she knows that he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
He's not physically, emotionally trying to, he does not have the capacity of putting efforts. So I think it has become better since then, because she now sort of understands कि भाई यही है.
Here, your daughter's 10th. It's board.
Yeah.
How are you preparing yourself?
I'm just trying to keep control of my emotion, majorly. Not majorly, but including anger, because she is as casual as one can be. And
Sorry.
I don't know. Maybe because it's just started, the tense is just started, and she's and she hates the concept of mark, like I said.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter to her. But I have been losing sleep over it. I don't know if you read my blog.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So, but I'm just there, and I tell her, I can only guide her. I can only tell her that how 10th or 11th or 12th is going to help her, and she hates math and science. So I keep telling her. I hated it too, so I can't blame her. So I just keep telling her that this is the only time when he has it. This is the only practically year wherein she has to sort of put in extra efforts. Because 11th onwards, when she'll pick up the subjects that she likes, it'll be easier for her, like it was for me. And I enjoyed studying after 10th.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that she'll enjoy it too. But I am not prepared of what's gonna happen in the future, because I am worried for her this academic session especially, and she's not. So yeah, that's where we are, and there is no way that I can prepare for it. The only thing is that I keep probing her, poking her, which gets her irritated, and it becomes a problem in this house. So yeah.
So how, so right now, what is her schedule throughout the day?
So abhi to vacations chal raha hai, Anand, so it's even harder because she sleeps late, she wakes up late, then she goes about her daily routine, she takes hours in her daily chores, and then I'll keep getting irritated. So Saturday, Sundays are the worst, because then both of us are together.
Yeah.
Even on Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday is more like I'll call her, check up on her. She definitely most of the time not studying. I'll tell her to study. What else can I do? And she'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll study. And then I don't know, right? Even if I'm home, what can I do? I can't sit on her head, see if she's studying or not. So, and even if she's opened the book, whether what is written if she's studying or not, you don't know. You don't know where her brain is. So you can only tell. You can only do as much. There is nothing that you can do. Whether you lose your sleep or not, yes, you will. But can you do much? No.
So what are your expectations abhi ke liye? Class 10th mein, what are your expectations marks wise?
See,
She doesn't believe in marks, but you do. So
I would want her to excel, right? I bribed her by saying she wanted to have a cat. And I hate pets. I hate. But I bribed her that if she gets a certain percentage between the two of us, I am okay to bring home a cat and live with it.
Okay.
So that's the length I have gone to, but that's where I would like to, I have not actually drawn any line. I've told her that I will live with a cat and I hate pets. So yeah, that's where I am. Like I've gone to this length, but it hasn't changed much for her. She's like, yeah, I'll get a cat. And she always says that, aa jayegi mama, percentage, aa jayegi.
And what is your mother-daughter activity, go-to activity?
We don't have sometimes earlier we used to go out every Saturday, Sunday, at least one of the 2 days we'll go out for a lunch or dinner. When she was younger, I'll take her to the play zone. She used to enjoy there. But now she doesn't want that time. The only thing is that I'm in my room, she's in her room. She will come, cuddle. Then we'll make, we'll crack joke, laugh for 10-15 minutes. She will say how much she loves me. I will tell her the same. And 15 minutes is stops.
अच्छा
Chalo ji, ho gaya. And then thing will happen which will mostly 15 minutes is like top प्यार से भी चले जाते हैं, but sometimes also, something comes like, अच्छा कितना पढ़ा?
बस पढ़ाई के बाद आते ही वक्त
Or something like something to do with, like, we were talking about the war, and very controversial, but just happened that I said I hate Pakistani, and then she tripped over it. She's like, what do you mean you hate all Pakistanis? It's terrorists who do that. And she's like, I don't want war. So she has, of course, and nobody wants war, wants war. I don't want a war. But so I had to, I started explaining, and I get a little intense and maybe we'll talk about these things. I get intense in generally when we talk about these things because, well, people are coming and killing us in our homeland, and then they just get away with it. I mean, that's not nice. And we have been very specific what we have done, right? Like only attacking the terrorist camps and things like that. And I don't have a first-hand information, whatever that is there from media, social media, etc. So obviously, for them, it's very different. So these are the kind of topics wherein we'll start and then she'll trip or I'll trip, and then, why are you getting so intense? Why do you hate Pakistanis? I said, no, I didn't mean that I hate human beings, normal Pakistanis, but well, I mean, this is what they do. This is how terrorism is being nurtured there, and it's bad for them as well.
Yeah.
So then something like this will happen, a conversation, and then we'll fall apart. So there are like thousands of such things that happen, but the max time that we can spend is like 15-20 minutes.
अच्छा
Yeah, and even when we try and go out for dinners together, then also there's hardly that it's very hard to come to a common ground to talk about. It's very hard. You want to talk about music? My music is Bollywood and Indian music, and hers is like
some band, some
Japanese, Korean, English. I don't even know. I didn't even know that there's something called alternate music.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I do not listen to that. She's learning guitar. So,
अच्छा okay nice.
When I took her to get her admitted to the class, this guy, the teacher, asked, what music do you like? She was quiet. She was not talking. Then he said, what is the girl that every girl likes? Some star.
Taylor Swift.
So he said, Taylor Swift. So she's like, no. And then he was like, no, then what? And then she gave 2-3 names of the songs, and he was like, oh, you like alternate? She's like, yeah. And I'm looking at both of them. What is this alternate now? So yeah, I mean, you're that uneducated in terms of their business, and so are they. Like, I would like music, the kind of music that I would like, she'd be like
80s and 90s wheel.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, quite honestly, I mean, like, stupid, but the rappers and all of that, and she'd be like, so yeah, I mean, there is no common ground between us. Like when we are driving also together, like if I'm going from point A to point B with her, I am listening to the music in my car, and she has her headphones, and she is listening to her own music. And I've given it a try. I'm not that I've not. कि चलो तुम्हारा गाना चलाओ आज सुनेंगे 3 मिनट से ज़्यादा नहीं सुन पाई. It's like तुम अपना लगा लो यार, तुम अपना लगा लो, नहीं हो पाएगा. तो yeah.
Thank you, Mukta, for giving me the time and opportunity to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.